Hello everybody, it's Ocelot, and welcome to another full game guide. In this guide, we're going to be featuring the Grave Scythe. Also, I have the Clawmark Seal equipped, so I'll be mixing in a few incantations. Here's a preview of the complete build against Malenia. I was very surprised at the Grave Scythe. I know it's a favored weapon among the community. I have never done a full playthrough with it until this guide. And I was very impressed with the base damage, the overall moveset, and I was very impressed with the Stormcaller AoW. Surprisingly, it has good stance pressure, and it's able to stun lock humanoid-sized enemies. I'd like to give a quick shout out to user JK-XW5RN. This build was specifically requested from my comments section, so I hope you enjoy the guide. If there's any weapon or AoW you'd like me to build around, just leave it in the comments section. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, join the Discord. We're a small community right now, but with your help, we can continue to grow. After this fight with Malenia, I'll go over my ending stats. So here I am, I just beat the last Shard Bearer. I'm at level 140, 50 Vigor, 15 Mind, 20 Endurance, 70 Strength, 33 Faith. Everything else is base for the hero starting class. I have Golden Bow, Bloodflame Blade, and Haligtree as buffs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the equipment. We have a Grave Scythe at plus 25, Stormcaller, heavy affinity on it, Clawmark Seal at plus 25. We have the Royal Remains armor, except for the helmet. We're wearing the white mask. We have the Shard of Alexander, Ritual Sword Talisman, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, Lord of Blood's Exaltation. In a physic, we have the Thorny tier and the Strength tier. For bosses that don't bleed, you can swap out the Lord of Bloods for the Dagger Talisman, the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, Green Turtle Talisman. You can do the Star Scourge Heirloom if you want more strength. For the white mask, you can swap it out for the Omen Smirk mask for plus 2 in strength. Or if you want plus 2 in faith, you can use a Haligtree Night Helm instead. This is the buff routine. You're going to want to drink the Physic, put on Golden Bow, then Bloodflame Blade, and then lastly Haligtree. Refill your FP, two-hand your weapon. With our weapon two-handed, we have a total attack rating of 1,261. And we have an incant scaling of 280. Again, if you want to go to 150, I'd put 10 points into Vigor, or spread the points out between Mind and Endurance. If you'd like to see a walkthrough on how to put this together, let's continue on. So here I am. I just finished the walkthrough that's linked on the top right and in the description. Choose the hero as a starting class, Golden Seed as the keepsake. So after going through the setup, let's go ahead and level up. I want to put 11 points into Vigor, 3 points into mind, 3 points into endurance, 4 points into strength, 4 points into dexterity, and 7 points into faith. Minimum requirements for the weapon we'll be using is 17 strength and 13 dexterity. So if you chose a different starting class, make sure you have at least that, and try to get 25 vigor if possible. So I am here at the Lenny's Rise Grace. I'm going to go ahead and take the Spirit Spring up to the tower. I'll be grabbing a Memory Stone. Then I'm going back to Fort Ferrith, where we got one half of the Dectus Medallion. Go down the hole and proceed where there's a couple of giant rats. Drop all the way down. You're going to want to pick up the Radagon Sword Seal. Next, let's teleport to Weeping Peninsula. We're going to be picking up another Memory Stone. Next, we're going to pick up the Faith Tier. It's going to be near this mark, just southeast of the Church of Pilgrimage. It's going to be surrounded by poisonous flowers. Here it is, the Faith Not Crystal Tier. 10 points of faith for 3 minutes when mixed in the physic. Next, we're going after the Strength Tier. It's going to be near this mark. So let's warp to the Stormhill Shack side of Grace and head northeast. And here it is again on the map. This gives us 10 points of strength for 3 minutes when mixed in our physic. Next, let's warp to the Third Church of America side of Grace and head north. We're going to be after the Ash of War Sacred Blade. We're going to apply that to our starting weapon, the axe. Or if you picked up the large club, you can apply it to the large club as well. I'm going to apply it to the axe. Here it is again on the map, or the location. Next, we're going to warp to the lake-facing cliff side of Grace. We're going to be going to this area. Before we do so, let's go ahead and equip Sacred Blade to our starting axe, or whatever weapon you'd like to use. Doesn't matter what affinity, I chose Sacred because that's the default. In our physic, you can put in the Strength Not Crystal Tier and the Faith Not Crystal Tier. So you're going to go northwest from the side of Grace. There's 3 spawning skeletons. You can take them out. We're going to farm these for the Grave Scythe. So with Sacred Blade, you don't have to worry about them resurrecting. Just use the Ash of War and they'll stay dead. Once you take them out, check to see if they drop the weapon. If not, warp back to the Grace and rinse and repeat. And there we have it, the Grave Scythe. Go ahead and equip it. When you're ready, we're going to head to Smithing Master E.G. in northwest of Liurnia. So you can warp to the South Raya Lucaria gate and go to my first mark. There's a teleporter there. It's going to take you just south of E.G.'s location. Let's upgrade our weapon to plus 15 with the material we got in the setup guide. Let's go ahead and equip Golden Bow on the dagger that we also picked up in the setup guide. Next, we're going to go do Raya's quest so we can get access to Volcano Manor. The second mark has a dexterity tier, and the third mark is a boiled prawn shack to continue Raya's quest. So talk to Raya, head west, pick up the dexterity tier, head north, buy her necklace from Blackguard. And before we continue on with Raya, let's head to the village of the Albinarics. We're going to get the first half of the Haligtree medallion. We won't need it till later on, but we're getting it now so we can trigger Ensha's invasion at the round table. When we take down Ensha, she drops her armor, and that's going to be the armor we'll be using for the run. So for now, let's go ahead and continue with Raya's quest.
Thank you. Did I forget? I seek you.
So once you give her the necklace, she's going to give you an invitation to Volcano Manor, which we'll use later on. For now, let's go pick up Bloodflame Blade. It's just north of Rose Church, around this mark. I'll show you the exact location once we get there. So just head northwest from the World Prawn Shack. If you go to this second mark, there's another site of grace which you can pick up, as we'll be using the Rose Church later on in this guide. So go ahead and take out this scarab, and you'll get Bloodflame Blade. Next, we're going to Stillwater Cave, which is near this mark. We're going to be picking up the Winged Sword Insignia. For now, we're going to swap out the Dex tier in for the Faith tier. So we'll have the Strength tier and the Dexterity tier in our Physic. And again, make sure you have Golden Vow equipped to the dagger. The affinity does not matter as we're only using it for the buff. We can't cast it yet, but go ahead and equip Bloodflame Blade, craft Blood Grease. We're going to use that until we pick up a Sacred Seal. Go ahead and run through the cave before the boss door. Put on all your buffs. You're going to want to put on the Blood Grease last. Go ahead and walk through. And it's going to be a clean rot night. You're going to want to be careful with the area of effect attacks from the Ash of War. Also, you want to watch out for the grabbing jab that she does. With the Clean Rot Knight down, we have the Winged Sword Insignia. Next, let's go ahead and pick up Flame Grant Me Strength and the Star Scourge Heirloom. It's going to be in Caelid. The first mark is the Star Scourge Heirloom, second mark is Flame Grant Me Strength. This gives you +5 to Strength, which you can put on now if you'd like, or use Radagon Sword Seal, +5 to all stats. Here's Flame Grant Me Strength, just on the south side of Fort Gale. Next, we're going to pick up a Death Root. We need to defeat a Tibia Mariner on this mark. We'll also be picking up another talisman that's on the first mark. You'll need a Stone Sword Key. You're going to need to go down to the bottom, pick up the Green Turtle Talisman. Here's the exact location. Go after the Tibia Mariner. Going to be awarded a Death Root. We're going to take that to the north side of Dragon Barrow, turn it into Garank for the Clawmark Seal. Here's the location of Garank. But to get there, we're going to go to the Third Church of America. Just north of it, around this mark, there's a teleporter. It's going to take us right outside of Garank's Bestial Sanctum. Hand over the Death Root. They'll give you the Clawmark Seal. Go ahead and equip it. Now we can cast Bloodflame Blade and Flame Grant Me Strength. So go ahead and equip Flame Grant Me Strength. Next, we're going into Limgrave. Around this mark, there's going to be a cave where we can find patches. Before that, though, we'll have to deal with an invader. Go ahead and take the invader out. And just west, we'll find the dungeon that we want to go into. So with patches, he'll stop attacking at about half health. So you can either take him out and take his bell bearing to the round table, or you can let him live and use him to purchase items from. I went ahead and take him out and took his bell bearing to the round table. Now keep in mind, we're going to get invaded by Ensha. This is going to be the first time you've been back to the round table since picking up the first half of the Haligtree Medallion. So So here's the invasion with Densha. So with Densha taken down, go ahead and pick up her armor. For now, equip everything. Then, we're going to the Twin Maiden Husk. Here, we're going to purchase items from Patch's Bell Bearing. So go ahead and turn it in. Go to the Bell Bearing shop. I recommend you pick up Margit's Shackle, the cookbook, and the 3 gold pick of Foulfoot. The cookbook will allow you to craft more gold pick of Foulfoot. If you picked up the Smithing Bell Bearing 1 from the setup guide, you'll be able to buy enough stones, 1s and 2s, to level up the Clawmark Seal to at least +6. I had a few extra smithing stones, so I was able to get it to +7. Next, we're going to get the Ritual Sword Talisman, just west of the Erdtree Gazing Hill side of Grace. We're going to fight Gillica. Once you take her out, the Ritual Sword Talisman is going to be in the room just behind her. Next, we'll be going to this mark. That's the Corpse Stench Shack. We're going to pick up the Golden Vow Incantation. Let's go ahead and level up though. We'll put 1 point into Mind. Head west. Pick up Golden Vow Incantation. You're going to get invaded by Anastasia. You can either run away from her or take her out. Next, we're going to be heading to Liurnia. On this mark is going to be a buff we'll be using when we have enough faith, Howl of Shabriri. After we pick up Howl of Shabriri, we're also going to head slightly northwest and pick up another Sacred Tear and another incantation, Frenzied Burst. There's a Site of Grace here, just south of where Howl of Shabriri was, which you can pick up. It's optional. Either way, head around this mark. That's where you're going to find Frenzied Burst. And on the second mark is where you're going to find a Sacred Tear. You want to grab that and the Grace there, because we're going to need that later on in this guide as well. Going towards the church, you're going to get invaded by Fingerprint Vike. You can run past him like I did, or you can take him out. It's up to you. Either way, pick up the Sacred Tear. Make sure to grab the Grace. And if you'd like to take out Vike, you can. Next, we're going back to Limgrave, to the Stormhill Shack side of Grace. We're going to head just south and then east. We want to be picking up another incantation, Aspects of the Crucible Tale. It's dropped by this Crucible Knight in the Everjail. Although it is somewhat slow, fully charged, it does a great deal amount of stance damage and fits the build very well. Next, we're going after Margit. He's just west of the Stormhill Shack side of Grace. Let's go ahead and level up. We'll put 1 point into Endurance. Let's make sure we have the correct incantations. We're going to want Golden Vow, Blood Flame Blade, Flame Grant Me Strength, and you can put in Frenzied Burst or Aspects of the Crucible Tale, whichever you prefer. In our Physic, you're going to want the Strength tier and the Faith tier. This is going to be our main 2 tiers for the run. If we need to change them, I'll let you know. You can unequip the dagger. We won't be needing it anymore. For the single talisman slot, you can go with the Winged Sword Insignia or Ritual Sword. For Margit, I didn't go with Ritual Sword as he usually gets a few hits in on me. Here's a summon if you need the help. And here comes our buff routine. First, you drink the Flask of Wondrous Physic, put on Golden Bow. Next, Blood Flame Blade. And lastly, Flame Grant Me Strength. Now, even though this should be an easy early game fight, Margit somehow still seems to beat me up. Just basically try to strafe his attacks, attack him from behind. Since he's pretty quick, you may not have multiple opportunities to get an Ash of War off. Here in phase 2, he's going to jump at you. Just roll it and get a few attacks in. With Margit down, we're going to get rewarded our second talisman pouch. For now, I recommend equipping the Ritual Sword Talisman and the Winged Sword Insignia. If you want the Star Scourge Heirloom or Radagon Sword Seal instead of the Winged Sword Insignia, you won't go wrong with either one. Let's go ahead and put 1 point into mine. I want to run through Stormvale Castle. Near this area, by a Grafted Scion, we're going to pick up the Iron Whetblade. It's going to be locked behind a Stone Sword key. Go ahead and open it, run through, pick up the Iron Whetblade. This will allow us to use the heavy affinity on the Stormcaller Ash of War, which we're going to be picking up next. Just east of the lift side chamber side of Grace, and just west of the boss fog, you'll find 2 cracked pots. Past the cracked pots and on the way towards Godrick, you want to be the featured Ash of War of the run, Stormcaller. Go ahead and go to the Grace before the boss fog. Let's go ahead and equip Stormcaller to the Grave Scythe, and we're going to be using the heavy affinity. And here's a buff routine one more time. Drink the Physic, put on Golden Bow, Blood Flame Blade, refill your FP, Flame Grant Me Strength, and then send it. So Godrick also uses Stormcaller Ash of War, except when he uses it, he gets to either do a jump attack at you or send 2 mini tornadoes. Either way, just be careful with his area of effect attacks. Watch for his slam, which he's doing right there. Fortunately, I missed the second one. Here he's entering phase 2. Refill your FP and HP if you have time. Run straight at him. Use your Ash of War. And that should be it for Godrick.
I am the Lord of all that is golden. And one day...
So here, I'm going to go ahead and consume his remembrance for the runes. We're going to go ahead and level up. You're going to want to put 3 points into Vigor, 1 point into Mind. Next, let's head to the round table. You're going to want to talk to Enya. We're going to be starting Varre's quest in a bit here. So we're going to want to head to the Rose Church. This is just south of where we found Blood Flame Blade. If you picked it up, go to the fallen ruins of the lakeside of Grace. Head west. Talk to Varre. He's going to give you a festering bloody finger. You can use this for online invasions. You need to do 3 of them. Or you can do an NPC invasion here in Altus Plateau. So first we're going to go to the first mark for the Faith Talisman. And then we'll go to the second mark to do the NPC invasion. So go to the basement. You're going to find the 2 Fingers Heirloom. When equipped, it gives us 5 points in Faith. Next, we're going to Altus Plateau, go to the Bridge of Iniquity side of Grace, and head east. We're going to invade Magnus. So once you take care of Magnus, we're going to head back to the Rose Church and talk to Varre again. He's going to give us a task of bloodying a cloth.
Take this.
Now if you remember, we picked up the side of Grace past Fingerprint Vike. So go ahead and warp there. It's in the northeast side of Liurnia, Church of Inhibition. On this chair, there's going to be this outfit. But if you also touch the maiden there, it'll bloody the Lord of Blood's favor. So let's go ahead and go back to Varre at the Rose Church. Let him know that we fulfilled the task.
Oh, another thing.
He's going to give us the Pure Blood Knight's Medal, which is going to allow us access to Mohgwyn Palace. Before we go there, though, let's go to the first step side of Grace and head west. There's a merchant near that mark. Here's the route to get there. Now above the merchant, there's quite a few birds. The birds drop the four-toed Foulfoot. This allows you to craft gold pickle Foulfoot. So here's the exact location. The merchant's right below. So go ahead and buy the Armor's Cookbook 2, a bow, and buy as many arrows as you can. When you're done with the merchant, go ahead and use the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. This is going to teleport us to Mohgwyn Palace. So after you grab the map, head up the stairs, grab the side of Grace, and continue on up the stairs. We'll be picking up a few items. There's smithing stone 7s. There's a golden rune. There's going to be another golden rune up in the dark room. When you come out of the dark room, there's a side of Grace. This part here is optional as we don't use this, but there is an ancient dragon somber stone that you can pick up right before Mohg's boss fog. If you drop down to the east side, there's going to be a golden seed that you can pick up. Next, we're going to be going to this mark here to shoot a bird. Now, we're not going to be farming for runes. However, this is a good rune farming spot. So go ahead and equip the bow. Now, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you the concept. Basically, what you want to do is you want to shoot the bird. He's going to fall off the ledge, rest at the side of Grace. He'll respawn, shoot him, rest. You can do that as many times as you like to get as many runes as you like. The only reason I'm shooting this bird is because down there is where we're going to find an invader. The invader that we're going to kill is going to give us the white mask. If you want to farm for runes, however, if you use a gold pickle Foulfoot, that'll boost your rune acquisition by 30% for 3 minutes. So go ahead and go down where we shot the bird. We're going to take care of this invader, and he's going to give us the helmet we're going to be using on the run, the white mask. So once you equip the white mask, we're going to head back to the mausoleum midpoint side of Grace. Let's go ahead and level up. We'll put 1 point into strength. Let's go back towards the dark room. We're going to be picking up some smithing 8s in here. So we're done here at Mohgwyn's palace for now. go to the Fort Fair site of Grace. We're going to head northeast to this mark and to this mark. We're going to kill 2 easy late game scaling area bosses. First one's going to be a Putrid Avatar. Watch out for his staff attacks and his jump attacks. They release Scarlet Rot, which does damage over time and also causes Scarlet Rot buildup. Stomp attack can also take a big chunk of health off. You do get hit by it, but it will not one-shot you as long as you've been following my leveling guide. When it starts to do Golden Land, I just jump on Torrent and run in a circle around it. You can dodge it if you'd like, but Torrent's available, so you may as well use them. There's that Stomp attack again. And I don't remind you before the fight, but you're going to want to use a Gold Pickle Foulfoot. You can use it now, or you can use it when the Putrid Avatar is about to die. I use it when the Putrid Avatar is at around 2 or 3 hits close to death. So right now would be a good time to consume the Gold Pickle Foulfoot, or you can wait till the Avatar is closer to death. So the Putrid Avatar is taken care of. Let's go ahead and head northeast. We're going to be rewarded a couple of tiers. The tier that we do use later on in the run is a Stone Barb Crack tier. So go ahead and rest at the Grace just past the dragon. Let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 5 points into Strength, 3 points into Faith. Now, we have almost enough faith to use Haligtree. We will be able to use it though with help. So go ahead and swap out Flame Grant Me Strength for Haligtree. What we're going to do is we're going to switch one of our talismans to the 2-finger heirloom. With the 2-finger heirloom and the faith tier, this will bring us up to 33 faith, which is enough faith to cast Haligtree. So drink the Physic, Golden Bow, Blood Flame Blade, Haligtree. After Haligtree, go ahead and swap out the 2-finger heirloom to your original talisman that you had. For Flying Dragon Greyll, you want to watch out for the fire attacks. If you're near the feet, he also does a stomp attack. If you're in front of him, but not quite near him, he'll do a biting attack. So you'll want to watch out for all of those attacks and just get in attacks when you can. So the damage type of our Grave Scythe is Slash, which is what dragons are strong against. So if you can, try to get in headshots when possible. So Greyll's about to go down. Right now would be a good time to use your gold pickle Foulfoot. I use it as I kill the last blow on Greyll. So down goes Greyll. There goes the gold pickle Foulfoot. We're going to head south towards Fort Ferrith and then the Church of the Plague. On that first mark, there's going to be a skull that we want to jump onto using a Spirit Spring. The second mark is Church of the Plague. So jump on the Spirit Spring on top of the skull. There's going to be Smithing Stone 7s and 1 8. And there's also a Stone Sword key. Head south to Church of the Plague. You're going to find a Sacred Tear here. Pick up the Side of Grace. Now we picked up a bunch of golden runes while going through Mohgwyn Palace. So go ahead and consume all the golden runes we picked up. If you want to consume all the golden runes in your inventory, that's fine as well. I'm only going to consume the ones we picked up in Mohgwyn Palace, so our levels match up as close as possible. So once you're done, let's go ahead and level up. We're going to put 6 points into Strength, 5 points into Faith. With the Faith tier, this will now give us 33 Faith, and we can cast Haligtree without the Talisman swap. Here I swapped out Frenzied Burst for Aspects of the Crucible Tail. So I'm going to do the red main castle skip. What you want to do is head south out of Church of the Plague. You're going to want to follow where I jump. You want to jump here from this corner and then double jump as the camera pans over. You want to fall all the way to the bottom. And if you get the Stake of America underneath your endurance bar, you did it correctly. You're going to be asked to be revived at the Stake of America. Go ahead and choose it. And this is going to put you right outside the teleporter of Radahn's arena. So again, make sure you have a gold pickle Foulfoot ready. Consume it as Radahn dies or right before he dies. So go through the teleporter. Run towards the camera on Torrent. So you want to be running away from Radahn. This is going to cause him to despawn, and you can skip his arrow phase altogether. You can put on the Flask of Wondrous Physic and Golden Vow, but put on Blood Flame Blade and Haligtree when you're closer. So the attack you want to bait out from Radahn is his slashing attack. Luckily he does do it. When he does, just walk into him and do a full Ash of War combo. This will usually cause him to do his Stormcaller Ash of War. It gets me with the initial hit and with the follow-up. As long as you stay behind him though, you can get a few more attacks in before he enters into Phase 2. Phase 2. Jump on Torrent and look for Radahn up in the sky. You're going to want to watch out for his landing, as that will definitely one-shot you. Once he lands, keep the pressure on. Down goes Radahn. Don't forget to consume the gold pickle Foulfoot. I'm also going to consume Radahn's Remembrance for the runes. Then we're going to level up. We're going to put 2 points into Endurance, 3 points into Strength. So that's 2 Shard Bearers down. Let's go ahead and warp to the round table. We're going to speak to Enya. She's going to give us our 3rd Talisman pouch. Let's go ahead and fill it up. I'm going to put in the Star Scourge Heirloom, which gives us 5 points into Strength. You can go with Radagon Sword Seal if you'd like, or the Green Turtle Talisman for more stamina regen. It's up to you. Next, let's go ahead and go after Rennala. So warp to the Academy. Just below the Red Wolf of Radagon. Here I'm showing you where it is on the map. There's going to be a ritual pot. You want to pick that up for later on. Continue on to the Red Wolf of Radagon. Once you take out the Red Wolf of Radagon, go ahead and continue on towards Mohgwyn. Here, you're going to see how Stormcaller is against humanoid enemies. So with Mohgwyn down, go ahead and head up the lift. Take out the first 2 sweetings. Find the 3rd one, and then go ahead and put your buffs on. Flask, Golden Bow, Bloodflame Blade, and lastly, Howl Shabriri. Refill up your FP. Kill the last sweeting. And then wait for Rennala to drop. Now phase 1's going to be easy, so I'll let you know right now. With Stormcaller, you're locked into the first part of the animation. There's no way to stop it. So be careful when you're starting it with Rennala in phase 2, because she starts spamming magic attacks. She almost takes me out after I do the first part of the Ash of War and the follow-up. So down goes Rennala. Next, let's go ahead and level up. Want to put 2 points into Vigor. We're going after Rykard next, so we're going to pick up an item in Limgrave. It's going to be just east of the War Master's shack, here near this mark. Approach it from the north side and drop down on top of the building. We're going to be picking up the Lance. We're going to power stance this with the Serpent Hunter against Rykard. And here's the location again. So to get to Volcano Manor, we have the invitation. So you can go to the Altus Plateau side of Grace and then to the Grand Lift of Dectus. Or Raya might be near the Erdtree Gazing Hill side of Grace. She was near the Erdtree Gazing Hill side of Grace for me. So I talked to her, accept her invitation. She's going to warp us to Volcano Manor. After you grab the Grace, head up the steps. There's going to be a Smithing Stone 6 you want to pick up. Head back down, talk to Tanith. Accept her invitation to join Volcano Manor. She'll give you the drawing room key. Head down the hall on the first door to the right. Head all the way through, past the Prison Town Church side of Grace. Out the next door. Continue through past this Abductor Virgin on top of the roof. There's going to be another Smithing Stone 6. You're going to want to drop all the way down to the bottom. Down here, you're going to find more Smithing Stone 6s. After you pick those up, here's the exact location. You want to jump in the lava, face the camera, and spam the roll button on top of the roofs, and I'll show you the location. There's going to be more Smithing Stone 6s. Continue on through until you get to the bridge. Open up the bridge. That way you have access to get to the Godskin Noble fight just in case he takes you out. You want to craft sleep pots. Equip them. Do not put on any of your buffs. I don't use a Gold Pickle Falfoot, but if you'd like to, you can. You want to put the Noble to sleep first, and then you put on your buffs. So with the Godskin Noble down, let's go ahead and level up. We want to put 2 points into Strength. Now I left this part in here because usually I just run past the enemies. But for some reason, I decided to take out this man serpent. And I got this. A super rare drop. But back to business. Continue on. Here, we're going to find a stone sword key door. Go ahead and use your stone sword key. You're going to walk through the fog that will be opened up. Drop down to the bottom. Follow the path. And you're going to be picking up the dagger talisman. Go back up to this point. And you're going to go through the door. There's a teleporter. Go ahead and use it. This is going to take you to the audience pathway side of Grace. Just outside of Rykard's boss fog. Walk through it. Pick up the serpent hunter. And then warp back to the side of Grace you just picked up. We're going to change our loadout for Rykard. You want the lance in your right hand and the serpent hunter in your left hand. You want to unequip the gloves so you're not in heavy load. You want Radagon sword seal, ritual sword talisman, and the Star Scourge heirloom. The physic will remain the same. Go ahead and walk through the boss fog. Drink your physic, golden bow. Blood flame blame isn't necessary. Haligtree, however, is. Refill your FP, and when you're fighting Rykard, you're going to use the crouch poke attack strategy. So crouch and L1, which is the block button for whatever platform you're on. Crouch and then the block button, so you're hitting with both weapons. Dodge the attacks, and just continue to spam crouching attacks. Before phase 2, try to put on your buffs. Put on Haligtree, and if you have time, put on Golden Bow as well. Rykard's about to go down. Don't forget to use your gold pickle Foulfoot. Before we forget, let's go back to our normal loadout with the Grave Scythe. Re-equip the gloves and re-equip the winged sword insignia. Let's level up. 4 points into vigor, 3 points into strength. Next, we're going to go to this mark. It's the sealed tunnel. We're going to be picking up the Smithing Bell Bearing 2, which will give us unlimited access to Smithing 3 and 4. There's some Smithing Stone 5s in here that we can pick up as well. Again, here it is on the map, the sealed tunnel. Here's the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 2. Let's go ahead and continue on through the dungeon. We're going to pick up some Smithing Stone 6s. We're picking up the 6s for our Grave Scythe. And we're picking up the 5s for our Clawmark seal. So go down to the very bottom. Before the Abductor Virgin. Here, there's going to be a breakable statue. You want to bait this Abductor Virgin to breaking it for you. Roll through her attack. Go around her. Pick up the Smithing Stone 6s. Continue on, or you can leave. I went ahead and continue on and fought the Onyx Lord for some easy runes. Next, we're going to head just south of the Draconic Tree Sentinel. So here is where the Draconic Tree Sentinel is. And here on this second mark is going to be another breakable statue with smithing stone 6s. We're going to recruit this rune bear that's just north of the second mark that I put down. We want to bait him into following us and to break the statue for us. So the statue's now broken. Go ahead and pick up the smithing stone 6s. Next, we're going to warp to Smithing Master EG so we can upgrade our Grave Scythe. Go ahead and upgrade it to plus 19. Hopefully you grab this Side of Grace, Alriza's side tomb, to get to the Draconic Tree Sentinel quickly. With the Draconic Tree Sentinel, open up with the Ash of War. Do not do the full combo, just the first part of it. Since he's fast and has the lightning attacks and the fire attacks from the force, just try to get in R1 combos, light attacks. If you can't get the first part of the Ash off, you can, but getting the full combo off will be difficult unless he's staggered. So once you take down the Draconic Tree Sentinel, go ahead and pick up the Grace. But we're going to warp to Kalu Baptismal Church in Weeping Peninsula. It's just west of the Castle Morn Rampart, Side of Grace. Picking up the Flame of Frenzy. It's going to be the last incantation we're going to use on this run. Here it is again on the map. Next, let's go ahead and go to the round table. We're going to upgrade our Clawmark Seal. So buy as many Smithing Stone 3s and 4s as you need to have 12 of each. Buy the Memory Stone as well. Once you're done, let's go ahead and upgrade the Clawmark Seal. I was able to get it up to plus 14. Next, let's go back to Caelid. We're going to the Sellia Crystal Tunnel. You can pick up the Faithful's Canvas Talisman here. It's right before the boss door. Next, we're going to fight the boss here. It's a Falling Star Beast. We're interested in the Smithing Stone 7s that it drops. It's going to drop 5. There they are, 5 Smithing Stone 7s. So let's go ahead and go back to the capital. We're going to warp to the Capital Rampart Side of Grace and head near this mark. There's going to be an Erdtree avatar, which we won't fight yet. We'll find it in the next part. Let's level up. We're going to put 1 point into Vigor. And we're going to equip all the incantations that we have that we're going to use on the run. And that's going to be the end of part 1. If you made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below. If you haven't yet, please join the Discord. We have a small community right now, but with your help, we can continue to grow. If you have any suggestions, or if you have any weapons or Ash of War you'd like to see a build for, leave it in the comments if you don't join the Discord. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.